Hi friends, it's Raqui and welcome back to Becoming, a real life journey into wholeness. And last time in Becoming, discerning, we talked about learning how to recognize God's voice, how to sense His leading, and how to distinguish His whisper from the noise, and how spiritual clarity shapes our steps. So today we are stepping into what happens after discernment and when God's leading takes you somewhere you didn't really expect to be. This episode is called Becoming Redirected, when God detours your story. Because sometimes God doesn't just close a door, He changes the whole hallway. Before we dive in, if this ministry is blessing you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so that you don't miss any upcoming episodes in the Becoming series. You know that your support keeps us going. You can also support us by donating to this ministry directly using the QR codes given to you here and below. So when God redirects us, well, there's a kind of redirection that doesn't feel right and it definitely doesn't feel purposeful at first. It feels kind of lost, confused, like the ground under your feet has shifted without your permission. For me, it looks like this often. Right now is here in this cabin in South Carolina, far from my children and my grandchildren, far from ministry roles I poured my life into, far from the clarity I thought I would have at this age. And suddenly I found myself asking, Lord, did you put the pen down? Are you still writing my story? I didn't foresee being here. No kids at home, no ministry position, permanent, just what you are watching now, and no really clear next step. I'm just waiting and surviving, just trying to remember who I am and who I have been called to be. And in that waiting, God whispered something I didn't want to hear, I didn't expect. I hear Him whisper, I am not late. I'm just redirecting you. So redirection often begins with silence. The kind of silence where your prayers feel like they're bouncing off the ceiling. The kind that where you check your email and your phone constantly, your bank account, your heart, and nothing seems to be moving in any direction you would like it to be. The kind where you wonder, am I still being called? Did I miss something? Did I fail somewhere? Did I do something wrong? And I wrestle with all of that, and I question my calling, and I question my purpose, and I question whether God still had a place for me. But here's what I have learned. Redirection is not rejection. Redirection is more like preparation. A very slow process, maybe, of preparation. And nowhere is that more clear than in the story of Lazarus. So Easter's coming up, so I have the next few weeks to share with you stories as we head over to that Resurrection Sunday. So 1 John in chapter 11, Mary and Martha send word to Jesus, Lord, the one you love is sick. They weren't asking for something outrageous. They may have been expecting Him to drop everything and come running to the rescue. They were more likely asking Jesus to do what He had already done for so many other people, to heal, to show up, to come as soon as He has heard. But Jesus, well, He didn't come. He didn't rush over to the rescue. He didn't run. He didn't even stop what He was doing. He stayed where He was. That's what John 11 says. And Lazarus passed away. He dies. From the outside, it looked like Jesus had failed Mary and Martha and Lazarus. He looked like He wasn't even responding to what they were facing, or was not concerned about the outcome of Lazarus' illness. It looked like He detoured their story in the worst possible way. But Jesus says something they could not see nor understand. This sickness will not lead to the end. It will not lead to death. It will be for God's glory. That's what He tells His disciples when they asked. So sometimes God lets something end not our preference, and it doesn't look pretty, and we don't understand it. But sometimes God lets a plan, a ministry, a season, a dream end. Not because He's done with us, but because He's about to reveal Himself in a different way, in a way that you've never seen or expect. So this is where Lazarus' story meets my own. Because this season, this cabin, this waiting, this uncertainty has felt like a detour, like a horrible, long, ending, and unexpected detour that I did not choose. I'm a problem solver by nature, and I like to fix things, and I like to plan, and I like to know where I'm going. I like to be moving. I like to be knowing what to expect, or at least have an idea. So sitting still and waiting, not really my forte. Not knowing where I'm going next, yeah, that just feels like asking a cat not to lick its paws. And I really don't like cats, believe me. Or a dog not to chew his bone. And that's really hard, especially for my little one, Miko. We're trying to keep a baby from crying when it's uncomfortable. Babies have to cry. They just have to. And a problem solver like me, we just have to solve problems. It goes against everything that is in my nature. And yet, here I am living in the tension in between. Being challenged not only in patience, but in fully depending and trusting in God. Because I really do not know what He is doing, nor what is He waiting for. So here we are in the in-between of not truly alive, not truly dead, like Wesley in The Princess Bride, very much like Lazarus. I am in between, reminding myself, God, you have provided for us in the past. But then I fall into, but I'm afraid of tomorrow. I am in between the reminding myself, well, God, I know you're faithful. And but I don't see the next step. And the other in between is just a detour of our story. This is a journey God has changed in our lives. So we can't leave Mary and Martha standing in their grief, because the story doesn't end with Jesus delaying. That seems to be kind of like the beginning. And after 4 days, when the situation looked hopeless, when the tomb was sealed and everyone assumed the story of Lazarus' life is over, Jesus finally shows up in Bethany with His disciples. And Mary and Martha, they say these words many of us have whispered very, very often. Lord, if you had been here. Oh, the ifs of our lives, the regrettable ifs. If you have been here, my life wouldn't look like this. If you would have come sooner, I would not feel so lost. If you would have been here, I wouldn't be in this crazy limbo. If you would have at least said something, I wouldn't be waiting with no answer. If you would have, I would have not. Yes, the ifs. But to Mary and Martha, Jesus came late, but Jesus wasn't late. Not for Lazarus. You see, He was intentional in His timing. He wasn't ignoring them. He was preparing them. He wasn't detouring them away from purpose. He was detouring them towards an awesome, amazing, powerful miracle and purpose. He was delaying them and waiting for that resurrection moment. As Jesus is about to change Lazarus' journey, He sees Martha's pain and tries to soothe her, but she is grieving. And then He tries to comfort Mary's pain, and He finds Himself weeping. Not because He was powerless, not because He was late, but because He enters our pain before He transforms it. He understands our pain, and He meets us there. And then Jesus does something unexpected. He changes Lazarus' outcome. He asks them to roll away the sealed stone, that stone that marks the end of life beyond the point of no return, the one that marks very, very much dead, the end, that stone. And Martha knew that and protested, "Oh, it's too late, Jesus. Are you out of your mind?" And the tomb, in her eyes, had consumed Lazarus. In her mind, Lazarus was no more. But for Jesus, it was not too late at all. He was right on time. No tomb can consume the power of God. And so, with a loud voice, he calls, "Lazarus, come out." And the man who was dead, the man whose story looked like was completed and finished, the man that people thought was consumed by death, that man walks out of the tomb, still wrapped in grave clothes. This detour, though 3 days long, was never the end. Maybe it was a moment of rest and healing for Lazarus. We don't really know. But regardless, it was the setup for new life, marked by the power of Christ. When I look back at the last months, I see something I didn't see at first, and maybe I wasn't really paying attention to. I have seen God's providence, God working, God providing, a place to live even if it's not my own, 2 new cars after losing ours to a severe hailstorm in Texas, on the way here, food on the table even if it's simple and maybe not going outside too often, but still. Moments of rest, creativity, and simplicity at times. And moments of rediscovering Him, of devotions and prayer. So these are the quiet mercies and small provisions, that gentle reminders that God is not absent. It's just my time to rest, because beyond what seems like a stone is Christ, and He's active in my story. Even when I don't feel it, even when I don't see it, even when I don't understand it, just like Mary and Martha, and yes, like Lazarus. I am also learning Jesus is never late. He just moves differently than I expected. And, for a person like me, I have to learn patience. And when you look at the way God detours your story, I want you to think about, so what does that mean to become redirected? It means learning to trust God, not just when He moves, but even when He doesn't, and when He moves in you. It means surrendering the timeline that you plan and your journey. It means surrendering the version of your life you thought you'd have ready by now. It means believing that God is not late. He's strategic. He's not punishing you or ignoring you. He's preparing you. And it means this, that you're not stuck. You are being guided. You're not forgotten. You're being formed. You are not lost. You are becoming redirected. Just like Lazarus, just like Mary and Martha, just like every disciple who ever followed Jesus into the unknown and through the difficulties, wherever you are today, in the waiting, in the wondering, in the in-between, here nor there, take a breath. Jesus is not late. Your story is not over. And the detour you're living through may be the very place where resurrection begins. And as you are becoming redirected to where God needs you to be, remember this, that God has something amazing still to come. Dios les bendiga. Until next time.